And Alejandro, welcome back to F.A.C.E, my trading warrior brother. Thank
Hey,
you for your patience, buddy.
no worries. I'm all good. And it was interesting to listen to the other guys share their views on the market.
Yeah,
And I agree with what you just said there. Trade the markets.
yeah,
In my case, it's more trade patterns.
yeah,
Uh,
there you go.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
So you're not thinking in terms of dollars, I need to make a certain amount of dollars. It's what the formation tells you is the potential for the move, not any type of monetary goal. That's what we mean by trading markets and not money,
I agree
right? You
100%. Yeah, I
want to
agree
share your
100%.
screen, bro?
Sure, let's do that.
Okay. Wondering what's on your radar. I want to wish you a great 2022 coming up, Alejandro.
Thank
So,
you very much.
oh, great. So, let me ask the question. Do you think up there around 97.87, if we get there, could terminate this bounce we've had from 2021 till now? What's your work saying here?
So I actually think we're gonna be on closer to the upper end of this range, maybe between
Okay.
100 to 102.
Okay.
So that's where I think we're going to be going ultimately. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the longer term and the shorter term dynamics of, I think, the dollar.
Okay.
And obviously, the dollar, we had the breakout here from this triangle formation in September. We pushed higher. I think that was relatively easy because you could sort of see it in the charts, and as well,
Yeah.
we had the shift in how the Fed positioned themselves from being like not expecting any rate hikes in 2022 to now saying that they're going to raise interest rates. And obviously that's on the back of inflation. And inflation will realistically come down a bit, I think. But obviously, maybe now in the short term, it sure looks to me that maybe the markets are well positioned and anticipating the Fed to go ahead and taper and raise interest rates. So I think at least maybe in the short term, just looking at this chart here, I don't see necessarily any strong edge for us to take a position on here, unless you wanted to sort of dive in into something like a 4 hour and sort of try to treat this like some sort of maybe ascending.
Triangle?
Yeah, I would probably call it the descending triangle.
Yeah, or a rectangle, or do you think, do you know Elliott Wave? I know just enough to be dangerous. How about you?
I know I studied other waves, but I got hold of one of the famous books. I don't remember. I think I read the first 50 pages, and then I gave up.
I would sure
Uh,
like to ask, Grega or someone that knows waves, that could this be a wave 4 triangle after the whole move that we had to the upside, and that implies the next move out is a terminal thrust for a 5. I'm curious. How about AJ? Is that it? Anyway, so that's
yeah. So
a
I think you said
possibility.
yeah.
But I mean, I can't find it. I'm trying to talk people into saying that this is just a retracement from the COVID high to the 2021 low, and this was a bear market rally, and I can't get anyone to agree with me.
Okay. Now,
I'm
I
just
mean,
letting you know, I talk to a lot of people, right? No
so
one wants
you're
to.
saying you can't find anybody that would like to sell dollars.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's no reason. The Fed, yeah, and yet, and I want your opinion on
Yeah,
this. I
yeah,
just brought it up with Blake.
yeah,
Everyone's saying, yeah, the Fed's being
yeah.
restrictive, but you know what? The BOE tightened.
Yeah, they were forced to. We're not used to that type of inflation in England, where I'm based.
Yeah, well,
So,
yeah,
so they were really forced to do that. It's actually quite painful. Like everything has gone up in price, even though most people have been sitting at home, so you haven't really been spending too much money. But now, whatever money you did save, it's everything is much more expensive, so it hurts a bit. But
yeah,
my general thinking here, I mean, we don't have like a specific or very solid pattern to trade here specifically.
right.
I think this could easily morph into something else. Now,
Okay,
my next step, I think here is maybe if it's a trade a little bit lower then. So how can one trade that? So one way to trade this is actually to trade the EURUSD, where you do have an
okay,
ascending triangle. that it's okay to trade. Like on these patterns, I like to trade the horizontal side only. I don't trade the trend line side.
Why?
So here one could potentially trade this to the upside to maybe 115 or something like that. And then we'll see what happens. Because ultimately, I do think the dollar is going to gain, but I would like to see it weaken a bit and then maybe buy some dollars. And I think maybe the better option to trade, to buy dollars would probably be against the Australian dollar versus the USD.
I agree, actually agree with that. And why do you say that?
Because firstly, we have, a bit of an inverse head and shoulders with a head left, possibly a right shoulder here. You could maybe, if you would have drawn a line like here, that would also maybe been sufficient, like if you would have done this. But you have the pattern here, which is interesting. And then we have also the fact that the Australian Central Bank, they're not looking to raise interest rates next year. And realistically, whereas in the Fed, they will raise interest rates most likely. Like if you look at inflation in Australia right now, it's at 3%. Whereas in the US, it's at 2.68. So it's a little bit like in the UK, I would argue that, you're not used to 5.1% inflation in the UK. And I'm guessing it's the same in the US. So they're really forced politically now to do something about
politically.
this. Yeah. Right. Whereas in Australia, they're not in that position that they have to do that yet. So
do you think it's going to be a policy error, Alejandro, and that all these central banks will have to reverse before the year is out?
I mean, as far as I can remember, and I also been in the market since 2005, 2006. Like every time they have started to raise interest rates, it does tend to create some sort of recession at one point. So I think that could easily be on the cards, but I don't think we're there yet. I mean, sometimes what happens is when they keep on raising interest rates after the economy has slowed. So I think if anything, 2022 is going to be a year where market is going to be quite choppy. And then maybe if we have a severe slowdown, it might come maybe 2023 or maybe 2024.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're sanguine about 2022 as far as risk? Like
I think
equities?
I mean, it's quite interesting actually, because we have something interesting happening in equities as well. Like you have, for example, the S&P 500. Yeah. Where you have an ascending triangle that is suggesting we can go much higher.
Yeah, it just broke out.
Yep. You have other things like this is the Taiwanese stock market index. I used to have this with my broker, but not anymore. So the exporting nation, they have also very beautiful ascending triangle to the upside. You have as well the Shanghai stock index, which is stuck in a pattern here. So it looks like
ascending triangle.
Yeah, if you look at U.S. stock markets like Taiwanese, Shanghai.
So U.S. is leading. It's the only one that's U.S. and Taiwan have broken out.
Yes.
Nothing else yet?
I mean, the Australian stock market is in the process, and I think you have the CAC 40, the French stock market as well, trying to do something, but you don't have like a clear-cut pattern here. Right. So maybe what we're seeing here, maybe. Slightly weaker dollar, slightly stronger stock markets. But
how about Brazil and emerging markets, Alejandro? If you looked at those,
I traded quite a lot of South African rand. I didn't trade the Brazilian stock market, but I traded the Brazilian rand. So sorry, not the Brazilian rand, the dollar SAR. I traded dollar SAR, and I also traded the Mexican peso. I nailed that really good, the Mexican peso. So this is dollar SAR. So you have that move there.
Yeah. Pull back to breakout.
Yeah. I think
Blake showed that.
Yeah. I think if we do look at this, maybe summer next year, then I do think we're going to be higher. It's just that we don't have you could have traded a breakout like I did. But I need another pattern here on a maybe smaller time frame to be really bullish. And then you have dollar Mexican peso, which I also traded. Because you have this break here. So I actually managed to get it here. And then they had some problems with their finance minister. So it pushed even higher. So I managed to nail this one really good as well. But now you're seeing it's way too deep into the pattern. And it's again the characteristic of maybe the market trading a lot of sideways and just being a bit difficult.
So it broke out and negated the breakout, which is negative.
Yeah, this is not great. So this is some of the stuff I'm looking at the traditional markets right now. Is this I think if anything would make me really excited, it would be probably the Aussie dollar. Selling this. The only thing here though is that this thing, if it's going to come down here, it can take a couple of weeks. So what I've been doing this year and a lot last year as well is actually a lot of cryptos, where there's still quite a lot of opportunities there. But here as well, I suspect that 2022 could be
How do you know what
virus
coins to
markets.
follow, Alejandro? I mean, there's so many, like these are a lot of altcoins and stuff. Like, do they have a COVID coin? I see COV/USD. Is there a crypto COVID? They should
No,
come
no.
out with one, you know, and just use the picture of the virus on the coin. Huh?
Yeah,
Let's do it, man.
Yeah, there's so many, so there's so much stuff, you know, like you can come up with a coin for everything, really. Yeah. I mean, the people buying this as well, they're not maybe the most informed either. Like people just buy and then they sort of hope that it's going to go up.
Yeah,
and if
they're lottery tickets, kind of.
It is. However, though, like if you're an experienced technical analyst, it's really golden, right? Gold, because like even like stuff that doesn't, like technical analysis that does not work on Forex for many years, works on cryptos.
Crypto.
Yeah. Huh. So if you're really good technical analyst, then I strongly suggest
more of a pure. Could it be because there aren't as many algos?
I think it's because it's hard to put a fundamental value to this one. So it's difficult to say where a coin should actually be worth. Whereas maybe like in stock markets, you know, you have these people that look at the fundamentals, and also obviously in currencies, you look at relative yields and relative commodity prices. You look at all that. So you have some
cross currents.
Yeah. So you have institutional traders that do a lot of mean reversion stuff.
Yeah.
And they can do,
these are pure plays.
Yeah, these are just pure plays like that. And the trick is really try to understand what's happening with Bitcoin and maybe Ethereum. And just to give you an idea, right? So for example, this is a Bitcoin, and in the big picture, you know, we're still in an uptrend. We're creating higher lows, and we reach this level here. And
would this be a big right shoulder from your last chart? I know you noticed that.
It could, yeah. You already had a head, left, maybe right shoulder.
Yeah.
It can definitely be that. But the way I can just explain to you the way I looked at it. So it's a bit like this. So it's a lot of hit and run. I'll explain to you in a minute what that means. So for example, like here, we started to go up and started to turn bullish, and especially the break here. So what I traded something called Phantom, which is down here. So Phantom had here like a mini ascending triangle, maybe inverse head and shoulders type of pattern like that.
Yeah.
Would you call it an ascending triangle? I think that's better. Like a lot of resistance here. So when this thing broke, I did something like this.
Just measured move.
Yeah. So you got yourself a risk-reward ratio of 3.81. But the
thing, are spreads? Do they eat you up at all?
No.
On these, they're tight.
No. Yeah, they're
like
tight.
Like 201, 202, 191. I mean,
the thing is you can see here, like I have a stop loss about 5.4% on the underlying.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking for 20% move. But what happened here is that when Bitcoin turned bullish, these smaller coins, like they turn crazy, up. Like 82%. So I traded it.
You use the majors for it's like you're following the majors for buy and sell signals for the junk.
Exactly. Sometimes, for example, you can do the same in silver. Like you don't have any good trade idea. You don't know exactly when to buy and sell silver. But if you have breakouts in gold, you can take the position in silver at the same time. And I can just tell you how I approached this as well in the beginning, because I was very skeptical when I started to focus on cryptos in the very beginning. But I just put a couple of thousand, I think maybe 5,000 euros into an account in 2017. And then I literally did 100% on one trade. And then I put another account in and did something similar. And by that time, I removed all my initial investment. And since then, the money I've been working with here has been sort of money from the markets to some extent.
Nice.
So that's what I suggest that you can do here. So just, you know, and it's silly.
So you're helping the public trade this stuff?
Yeah, you could say so. I mean, I do various things. So I represent the FCA regulated broker called ATFX, and I have in the past, represented F.A.C.E for many years.
Okay.
Also, I'm
And you're with the ATFX now.
Yes, I'm representing them. So I do a
So
lot of things.
are you also a broker? You have accounts that you work with?
No. It's mostly on the marketing side.
I see.
I
Okay.
also I manage this website. I created this website, which is like a news website, crypto related primarily, and I also do this.
investingcube.com.
Yeah, investingcube.com. So I manage a team here. So we do like a lot of technical analysis. It's a bit of a different website. It's more like your like we sell advertising, if anything.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So it's like
that's your model. It's an advertising model.
Yeah, exactly. We do deal with like Pepperstone and
yeah,
exchanges, things like that. And then I have my own another project that I've been working in since 2016, where I provide access to my trading journal. So effectively, I trade 6 specific patterns. So I scan the markets on a weekly basis several times. And then I do videos on a daily basis and I explain to them, look, this is this pattern. This is why this is interesting. And when I do put a position on, I say, okay, this is what I am trading. So I also share how I'm operating. And yeah, so we've done quite good for ourselves over the last couple of years.
Is that the name of the fund, Londinium?
Yeah, so that's the name of the website. Yeah, londiniumfx.com.
Okay.
So I guess it's definitely not like what you guys do, because you do much more interaction and things like that on yours. But ultimately, I try to educate people or show people how to trade with my trading system. And I have quite a few people that's been with me since the really beginning. So a lot of people come here to get like additional input, like different patterns to trade and so on.
Well, you're only 25. How long could they have been with you?
Sorry?
You're only 25 years old, right?
I should look like it. And I'm actually
you look 18 there, buddy. So anyway,
go to bed early. Good. Go to bed early. Go to bed early. Don't drink too much alcohol.
Right. Well, I've enjoyed meeting and chatting with you over the last year.
Yeah.
Hope we let's keep it going. And I root for you and think that you do provide a great service of classical type of technical analysis for people to learn. And you not only talk the talk, you walk the talk. So glad our paths crossed, Alejandro. And I wish you a happy new year, and that you have a great year in the market. It's a great winter trading season, and look forward to talking to you again next year.
Yeah, thank you so much, and I'm really happy to be on here. It's always nice to hear your thoughts, and so I'll be able to share what I'm doing. And it's gonna be an interesting year, actually. I do think it's gonna be much more challenging than the last 2 years, because the last 2 years we need to always remember we had this massive stimulus package, right? So like 2020 was my best year ever, and I did like triple-digit returns. This year double-digit return, and I think next year it's going to be really challenging, and it's going to be interesting. Actually, I do think like the sort of the community that you offer, or maybe what I do as well, is something that could is going to be more needed, because it's quite funny, in these bull markets, like
everyone's a genius.
Everyone is a genius.
The tide lifts all boats.
Exactly, everybody's a genius. And I think next year, understanding how to manage your risk, and I think more importantly, understanding when not to trade is going to be key. And that's when sort of the experience of the knowledge you can get for something like what you guys offer and I offer, and other experienced people offer, becomes more and more valuable.
Yeah, you can't learn experience, but you can learn from the experienced.
Yeah, definitely.
I have a saying for everything, don't I?
You do.
I got a million of them, buddy. So thank you, bro. Happy New Year to you and yours. And thanks for sharing your views and your looks today with our community.
Thank you so much.
I saw some things that are interesting to me, so I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much, and
right.
speak soon.
All right. Everyone, you know where to follow Alejandro, and his Twitter handle's AlexFX00. And Londinium is where you could find him, londiniumfx.com. And that's a wrap. Remember, everyone, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. And you could join the team in 15 minutes for the morning edge. And I'll see everyone tomorrow. Everyone's thanking you, Alejandro. All right. Adios, guys.
Hey traders, this is Blake Morrow with ForexAnalytix. Thanks for stopping by our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like these videos, share them, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the content that we provide here for free. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next video.